coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Tonight, cities across the state are making changes to stop the spread of COVID-19. Right now, there are 73 positive COVID-19 tests in Missouri. That's more than double where we stood yesterday. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Claire Bradshaw. Let's take a look at those numbers. The state's third death was reported today in St. Louis County. The first two deaths were in Boone County and Jackson County. Again, there are 73 confirmed cases in Missouri. 10 of those are in Boone County, 3 in Cole County, and 1 confirmed in Callaway County. On our website at KOMU.com, we have the latest numbers with an interactive map. You can find the story with that map on our homepage. 2 MU employees have tested positive for COVID-19. An email from the university says the 2 employees are in quarantine at home. An MU student tested positive for the virus after returning from a study abroad trip. That student did not return to campus. Earlier this week, the UM system president issued a directive for all employees to work from home if possible beginning Monday. Tonight, the Columbia-Boone County Health Department has released a new special order limiting the number of people in restaurants. The order says dine-in services for all bars and restaurants are no longer allowed across Columbia and Boone County. Carry-out and delivery is still allowed. That includes alcohol. Concerts, conferences, and indoor sporting events are not allowed. Entertainment venues and gyms are limited to 10 people at once, including staff. You can find a list of exemptions on our website at KOMU.com. Missouri's House leadership has confirmed a state lawmaker has tested positive for COVID-19. House leadership is asking Capitol employees to stay out of the Capitol for at least 10 days. Officials say they are working on notifying people who may have come into contact with the House member. The announcement came in a joint statement from leaders of both parties. During Governor Parsons' daily COVID-19 briefing today, he said changes are coming for Missourians. He says he will officially announce the changes tomorrow, but says businesses will not be allowed to have more than 10 people there. That includes employees.
It's not about shutting places down. It is designed to promote the health and safety of the people of Missouri. The order is tailored to avoid restrictions on businesses and organizations that promote the health and safety of Missourians.
Parson warned the numbers will continue to rise and limiting gatherings will slow that rise. Restaurants, bars, and most places where people gather will face the new limit, but he says it won't apply to churches, grocery stores, or pharmacies. Callaway County's presiding commissioner declared a state of emergency today. A student tested positive for the virus at William Woods University. The student was the first reported case in Callaway County. The Fulton campus is closed and the student is in quarantine. The university has set up temperature testing sites for students. Students with 100-degree fever or higher will have to go into quarantine immediately.
William Woods University opened their Emergency Operations Center upon notification of this case and to staff the facility with well-trained individuals to assist with student health and resource management.
The state of emergency will allow the county to get funding for preventative steps, but it does not require businesses to close. The County Commission recommends everyone to follow federal and state guidelines. Okay, thank you, Jacob. Congress and the White House are negotiating a $1 trillion economic rescue bill. It's the most ambitious federal effort yet. It even passes up the bailout efforts from the 2008 recession. The deal would direct money directly to Americans, small businesses, and industries hurt by the crisis. It's not clear how much people would get, though.
One part is getting help to individuals and families. The other part is getting help to small businesses in an employee retention program, helping small businesses keep their employees. And the other is employee retention in large businesses.
No worker, no family, no one should lose a paycheck or go into financial ruin as a result of the coronavirus.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he hopes to reach an agreement by Monday. The rescue bill wasn't the only topic among senators today. 4 senators are facing controversy for selling their stocks. But why does that matter? NBC's Jay Gray explains.
Chaos in the markets and now questions on Capitol Hill. According to financial disclosure reports, at least 4 senators, Richard Burr, the chair of the Intelligence Committee, Dianne Feinstein, James Inhofe, and Kelly Loeffler sold off hundreds of thousands of dollars in stocks within days of a classified briefing about the coronavirus threat and before the market collapse, raising concerns about whether there was a violation of the Stock Act, making trades based on information not available to the public. something experts say is difficult to prove.
It's not enough that the timing is suspicious, or even if the person's public statements are at odds with their trading. That may look bad, but that doesn't necessarily make it illegal.
Senator Burr is calling for a Senate ethics investigation into his transactions. Loeffler addressing the issue on CNBC.
These were completely discretionary trades at the decision of our investment managers. We had no involvement in them.
President Trump weighed in during what has become his almost daily briefing on the virus.
I don't know too much about what it's about, but I find them to all be very honorable people. That's all I know.
Just like the illness, right now a lot of people concerned about their trades want more details.
While some people say they should resign, experts say it's really hard to prove the senators did anything wrong. More limits on non-essential travel to and from the United States. Both Mexico and the U.S. agreed to limit travel across the border to stop the spread of COVID-19. On Wednesday, Trump also announced limitations on traveling to and from Canada. The Department of Homeland Security says the new measure won't affect trade.
This order applies to persons coming from Mexico and Canada who are seeking to enter the country illegally and who would normally be held in a congregate setting like a Customs and Border Protection station.
People who are caught at the border will either be returned to their original country. The restrictions kick in at midnight. Back in the Midwest today, Illinois issued a stay-at-home order. It joins California as the second state in the country to tell residents to stay home. Illinois says all non-essential business must stop. This order closes licensed child care centers and all child care homes with more than 6 children.
To avoid the loss of potentially tens of thousands of lives, we must enact an immediate stay-at-home order for the state of Illinois.
The order starts at 5 p.m. tomorrow and ends April 7th. In a joint investigation with the Columbia, Missourian, Target 8 received internal documents about the state's Department of Mental Health sick leave policy. The policy tells workers to come into work even if they live with a household member who was exposed to COVID-19 or is under investigation for the virus. The only exception is if the employees become sick themselves. KOMU8's Ethan Stein shows us how the policy started changing after we started asking questions.
I was shocked. That was one state employee's reaction when receiving this memo about her department's new leave guidelines. The memo from the Department of Mental Health tells employees to keep coming to work.
It gives the impression that they don't care about their employees.
That was until Target 8 and the Columbia Missourian began asking questions. Now the department is sending out a clarifying revision, saying employees who are asymptomatic who live with an asymptomatic household member who was exposed to COVID-19 or is on a self-monitoring status for COVID should still report to work. Adding in a note, employees living with someone who is showing symptoms will stay home. The worker you're hearing from sent us the original memo. We're disguising their voice and keeping their identity anonymous to protect their job. The worker says the now old policy made others in the office feel uncomfortable.
I have coworkers that are concerned. I have coworkers that are high risk and still have to come to work every day in the building.
For this Target 8 investigation, I'm Ethan Stein, KOMU8 News.
This policy was specifically for the Department of Mental Health. The department says the guidance was always intended for those who are asymptomatic. The Office of Administration, where there was a case confirmed specifically, told workers if they have a household member who is sick, employees should not show up to work. You can read more about the Department of Mental Health's policy online on our website or in tomorrow's paper. Wilson's Fitness is among a number of gyms and businesses that have closed due to COVID-19. The company closed all 3 of its locations Wednesday and laid off all 248 employees. In an email, the company told employees they have options including seeking other employment and applying for unemployment. But the company has not canceled membership charges for its customers. Wilson said in a Facebook post, membership dues are valued in the effort of being able to bring back out workforce post this pandemic. Some customers disagreed with Wilson's decision to lay off its employees while still collecting membership dues. One comment read, "I also do not understand how employees were laid off and health benefits canceled, especially in a crisis like this." KOMU8's News spoke to one customer who told us he would be canceling his membership as soon as possible. In response to the backlash, VP James Abrams posted a video this evening to the company's Facebook explaining the company's decision. Abrams says canceled memberships could be detrimental to the gym and that member will get credit for the time they did not use in the gym. Here's what's happening right now. A member of Vice President Mike Pence's staff tested positive for COVID-19, and his office is trying to figure out who may have been exposed to it. His spokesperson says neither Pence nor President Trump had close contact with the person. He's been to at least 2 events in the past few weekends. After both events, people have tested positive. Pence is currently the point person for coronavirus issues. He has not tested positive. The Columbia Police Department says it's focusing the search for missing Columbia woman Mengshi Ji out west. Police say they've searched for her remains near Ashland Lake and Pine Ridge Recreation Campground in Callaway County. Now the focus is east of Blackwater on the Lamine River near the Highway 41 bridge in Cooper County. Police have been investigating her disappearance since last October. The Boone County prosecutor says her husband Joseph Elledge is the main suspect in Mengshi Ji's disappearance. Police encourage anyone with information to call. Spring break is almost here and students are already packing up their dorms. Why most students aren't coming back. And schools are closing across the country. Why some students and teachers may be feeling a bit of relief right now.